Hello, my name's Lizzie. I'm Anglican. In just under 2 months' time, I'm going to be moving into a convent ready to become a postulant. And I've come into work on a Saturday because, as I've mentioned in my other videos, I'm away all of next week on a retreat, and because I'm about to leave my other jobs, there's quite a lot I need to do in preparation to be able to hand over to the next person and just get everything organised and tidied up before I leave. So I'm working on a Saturday. And if you can hear music or singing in the background, it's because I work right on Town Hall Square, and British Red Cross have set themselves up in Town Hall Square today with stalls and things. And this is just what I love about being in a city centre and working right next to Town Hall Square itself.
I will hold your people in my heart.
I thought you might find it helpful or interesting just to know what my cleaning job and my street pastor's job entail. So the cleaning job, I've been cleaning 10 hours a week for about 3 years now, possibly going for 4. In the Methodist church, it's right in the city centre. It's probably like the most central church building, one of the most central church buildings in Leicester city centre. And when I applied for the job, they said that they were looking for a cleaner that would also be happy to interact with all the different people that use the building, and that includes social services, adults with learning disabilities, Alcoholics Anonymous, Narcotics Anonymous, parent and toddler groups, sometimes victim support type groups, training for door staff, all sorts of people. And there's a cafe in the church that the general public come in and use. And so obviously my cleaning role has entailed cleaning, and mostly not so much the actual worship space of the church itself with the pews, like not so much that, but there are lots of other rooms as part of the building that the community uses, and there are toilets that I need to be cleaning like most days, not every day. So a lot of my cleaning has actually been in the community use rooms. So there've been times where quite a lot of my cleaning can be just done in silence. Sometimes I'm cleaning when there's no one else in the building or very few people in the building. And quite a lot of the time I don't need to be interacting with people to be getting on with my cleaning. And when I did my week in a day video, I mentioned there that when I'm not needed to be interacting with people, then my cleaning kind of becomes prayer time as well, which is nice, and I quite like just getting on with stuff in silence. But at the same time, over the years that I've had this job, I've had such fascinating conversations with people, and I love interacting with the people that come in. Oh, another group of people that have come in is downstairs. There's somebody that kits out asylum seekers and refugees with bikes, so they can get around a lot more easily and go to the places where they need to present themselves and sign on to things more easily. So quite often that could even be someone at the door there just ringing with a bike, but someone else is there to let them in. But so I've had conversations with so many asylum seekers, and some of them have been asylum seekers that I've taught English to a few years back, and I've just loved helping in whatever ways I could with the bike project, like I once looked for one of those child seats you put on the back of a bike for a mum who had a little child. So all these little things have come off my cleaning job, all these different interactions and conversations. I've learned so much about the 12 steps from chatting with people who come for AA and NA, and the conversations I've had with them when we've crossed paths in the evenings have been amazing, like listening to their stories about how God's helped them, and just talking about spirituality in general. And occasionally people have come in because it's such a city centre location. Sometimes you get people coming with mental illnesses or who are very angry or intoxicated, and then because people know that I am a street pastor, or was a street pastor till recently, it was nice to know that people knew that they could come and get me if they weren't sure how to deal with the situation. So sometimes I've been dealing with like intoxicated people, or people that maybe other people in the building were a bit unsure of how to interact with, whereas I was quite comfortable in those kind of situations. And then very occasionally there have been times when somebody wanted someone to pray with, or or ask questions about church membership too. So there have been times when while I've been in my cleaning tabard, which you can probably see behind me here, I've been in my cleaning tabard, and then just for a few minutes I've stopped my cleaning and gone to pray with someone that was crying or who's been recently bereaved or something. So I've just taken them to the prayer corner. So it's been nice to have that kind of secondary ministry as part of my cleaning job. So so the cleaning job has been very much a city centre, very busy, interacting one, rather than just cleaning on my own somewhere in a building where members of the public aren't coming in. So that's the cleaning role. Then the street pastor role, you might have been confused by some of my videos, because I talked about hanging up my street pastor cap and saying goodbye to my street pastor family, but I'm still working for them. So basically, street pastors are volunteers, but most street pastor branches might employ one person to be their coordinator, and that's basically pretty much what I've been doing in Leicester City Centre. So I've been the one person that's been paid to do all the kind of behind the scenes work and all the stuff that needs to go on so that the street pastors can do their volunteering on weekend nights. So the volunteering is something that I've been doing anyway on Saturday nights over the last few years. But when I talk about my street pastor job, I don't mean the walking around the streets at night with a group of street pastors. I mean sitting here at my desk. I've been doing it for 12.5 hours a week was what I was taken on for. And that has been like sort of all the emails, the DBS checks, the training, ordering uniform, all that kind of thing. So a lot of that has been kind of on my own, although obviously you're interacting via email or phone, but a lot of it has been just on my own. I've been given quite a lot of free rein to sort of design posters, write things for leaflets, be in charge of like the website and the Facebook page. I've started making a couple of YouTube videos for street pastors now that I'm in the groove of editing videos. What else have I? So sometimes there's been a practical thing of just buying things that the street pastors need, like buying in flip-flops that we give out, or bottles of water, that kind of thing. And then the bits that I've most enjoyed, again, were the more interactive bits. So sometimes I'd go to have once a month. I've been going to a meeting with a police officer and the CCTV and the managers of nightclubs and bars in the city centre. So I really enjoyed doing that and just chatting with them. And sometimes I've been asked once I was asked by a school to go in and talk to the students about what we did. So I've loved I miss like public speaking and preaching, but in this street pastor job there have been elements of that. So every now and again I've been asked to go and do a talk somewhere, or I've been asked to, more recently I've been asked to go to the police headquarters for the county and give training, or give like a session as part of a training course to the police, explaining to them what street pastors do. So I made a PowerPoint presentation for that and delivered that presentation. And then sometimes I've been asked by local churches to either talk about street pastors in their service, or combine it with a gospel reading and do more like a sermon that incorporates information about what we do, but with reflection on the gospel passage for that day, that kind of thing. So I've loved those kinds of more interactive public speaking roles. So that just gives you an idea of what I mean by my street pastor job, which is different from the actual volunteering. So these are the two jobs that I've still got just for a few more days, although I'm sort of using annual leave to go on this retreat next week. And then I travel back from Wales on Monday the 26th of June. So I've just got Tuesday to Friday of that remaining week of June in these cleaning and street pastor jobs. So that's when I'll just be tidying up loose ends and handing over to the people that are taking on the two new people have been found to do the cleaning and the street passes. And the talking outside is here. This is Saturday morning AA. I think because it's a Methodist church and because John Wesley was part of the whole kind of temperance movement and wanting to make church accessible for people that were addicted to alcohol or were vulnerable to addictions. I think there's always been a link between Alcoholics Anonymous and Methodist churches maybe, and I think AA meet here pretty much every day of the week, 7 days a week. So I love having conversations with these guys. They're great. So that just gives you an idea of where I work and what I've been doing.